Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent Meza, and this is Listings to Leads. And today we're here to talk about Facebook and Google advertising. Before we dive into it, I just want to give you a few resources. We do live training every week. You can see that today we're doing Facebook and Google. I go down and do Get Started, which is an important class for everybody. Even if you've been a client for a while, you might want to watch that because there's a lot of new technology and new automation that you can turn on. And then Top Tools for More Listings. So this is all on leadgenwebinars.com. And you can find that and then just go sign up here and you'll be good to go. We do record every class. And so every class that's recorded will end up right here. And I actually recommend this. I don't know if I can send this to everybody. I'm going to see if I can do this. Yeah. So I'm going to send this link to this video thing right here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this before we continue. Scott's been doing this month. He's begun a kind of a short coaching class every business day of the week. Okay. And so on your deal here, on your GoToMeeting chat panel, you're going to see that I've sent this link to this page. And I want to talk a little bit about this. So the classes that I do are Get Started. I do a class for lenders, and I do Top Tools for More Listings in Facebook and Google. And if you need more listings, I definitely recommend that you watch the Top Tools for More Listings class. It's this one here 2 weeks ago. And Get Started, everybody should watch. Facebook, you should watch. But the series that Scott's doing are really kind of action specific. And if you have questions about how to hit a FSBOs, how to use our short form video tools, you can just see the titles right on here. And it's safe to say that the more of our platform that you use, the more leads you're going to get and the more your business is going to grow. So I definitely recommend getting on this and taking your spare time to really understand how to unlock the value here. It's on the videos page of our Listings to Leads channel on YouTube. So we'll leave that there. We may need to come back to that later. Now, I see a lot of people coming in, so I want to just remind everybody, if you have questions about Facebook, just right up front, and Google ads, go ahead and put them in the chat panel and I'll address them. I'll address those kind of quickly. But I want to go up here into our mastermind group. If you're a client, you need to get in our mastermind group. It's private. It's not visible to the public unless you're in it. Just use the support page and act accordingly. Just ask them to add you to the group. This call from Brian Matheson this question is in our mastermind group. He's from LPT. And he is noticing, and he's asking if anybody else is noticing this. If he runs a listing ad on an open house, he gets fewer leads than just saying, hey, I've got a home for sale, right? So if you have a home for sale, you can run an ad. If you have an open house, you should run an ad again. And what he's saying is, I'm getting fewer results on the open house. So I don't know. That's the first time he said that. Somebody down in the group has also in the response also said, yeah, he was noticing that as well. Who knows? Maybe that's just an anomaly. I think we've seen over in the past few years, when you have an open house, people definitely respond to that. And then this is the other thing, our ad account's not connecting. So let's go into the account because that's a big deal. If you are a client of ours, ideally you connected your Facebook account long ago. There was a bug in Facebook just recently and it kicked everybody out. Okay. So it kicked everyone out of the accounts and it kicked out that connection between Listings to Leads and their ad account. So when you come here to ads, and I'll click on ads now, we'll wait for this to come up. My page is going to look different from your page. And you want to make sure, let's give it a second here for this thing to connect. You want to make sure you're connected there. And just to speak about that, what you're doing, so this is connected, but if you're disconnected, there'll be a big blue button that says connect to Facebook. And that connects to your Facebook business page. Okay. It'll show your name first and you say yes. And then it'll show you all your business pages and you can choose whichever ones you want. You might have multiple pages. You might have community pages, things like that. So you can connect. And once you do that, when we start running ads on Facebook, it'll be reflecting sponsored by your business page. It'll charge your credit card on the business page. And that's the whole point of this call. So I see something here, Scott, he's successfully leveraged the Facebook platform and the neighborhood letters. That's great. And he says, see how well I did, how many people clicked on the Facebook ad. I don't have a clue on Google ads. Yeah. So wait, I don't have a clue how I did when I ran on Google ads for one of my listings. I never used it again because it wasn't quantifiable. So what you should have, you see here, we're looking at ads and we can see that we've spent a few dollars, 180 out of 35. This isn't actually a live account, so we're not have great details. I can jump out of this and show you what really is happening. But this here is Google ads. Scott, when you click on this tab, your ad should be right here. So you ran something in the past. It's going to tell you how much you spent, how many clicks you got. And that's really the thing that you want to be looking at. I will say this though. So what Scott is telling us is he ran an ad on Google for a listing. Okay. So let's go do that. Let's just go do that. Now, is that right? You ran it on a listing? And I'm assuming you ran it to a landing page of some sort. So I don't even know how on a listing. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I don't even know how you do that, people. So let's take a quick way of how I would do that. And I will say this, the ad and its background is visible right on the ads page. Yeah, I think you saw that, Scott. That's where you would see this details or that quantifiable information. Let's go here. This property here has an open house. And if I click on social media posts, let's give it a second here. And this is the listing landing page. This is something that I would want to drive somebody to. Okay. So every one of your properties has a listing landing page. Okay. Now this has an open house. So there's going to be a ticking time bomb there. And the way you get the lead is when somebody clicks continue with Facebook, or if they say, hey, I'm just going to give you my email. Either way, right? You're going to get the information. If they click continue with Facebook, you're going to get their name and email. It's going to be associated to this. So this is a good landing page for a listing. All right. And when I'm not really quite sure, so I'm going to copy this because that's what I want to get people there. And I'm going to go to the ads page. And one thing I tell everybody here, what he is saying is he ran an ad on a listing. We don't actually know what tool he went to. Let's give it a second while we wait for this. But that's one of the tools he could have used. He could have, I just don't know where he was driving it to. So how would you do that? You wouldn't even do it. You'd have to do it and to create a custom ad. And I'm just going to walk you partially there, right? So let's say wherever your home was, let's just say it was in Orlando, right? You would do type in your town and you'd paste in your link. Okay. So whatever link he was pointing to, and then you have your budget. The real reason why I wouldn't even suggest this to any of you is there's two, but one, you have to write all of these things in here, right? You have to put in multiple headlines. You got to put in multiple descriptions and you got to put in all the right keywords. And I don't think any of you really know that. Scott may know that. So I wouldn't really recommend doing this custom ad to anybody. That's why I don't even discuss it. But then you got to ask yourself, if I go here, my question might be Orlando homes for sale, right? That's what your process is, right? If somebody looked for a home in Orlando, I want them to see my home. The competition, as you would imagine, is Zillow, Toll Brothers, Realtor.com, you might end up as an ad right here, right? You might be a sponsored result. You might be, but that's not really like what people are quite looking for. You can see the headlines and stuff like that. It would have to be pretty compelling for me to click that because everybody knows, oh, I can go look at these other things and go see properties. I never really recommend people to you as agents to be running ads on Google on a particular property. If you want listings, I definitely recommend that you put ads on Google, right? But if you want buyers, your safest bet is to go right here, go to your listings, which is market listing, and run an ad on Facebook, right? And just like these guys we're talking about over here, that's what they've been doing, right? And let me show you why that's the case. So to run an ad on Facebook, you can just pick your listing, click market listing, and click create ad. Now, let me ask, does everybody understand what I'm doing here to create this ad on Facebook? Because I do this a lot and I live in this platform. So if you're missing a step, let me know. I'm going to log into a live client's account so we can really understand Facebook and what it can do. The thing about Facebook, and there's a difference in lead quality. Okay. On Facebook, American adults spend 40 minutes a day just looking at what their friends are doing, what they're eating, where their vacations are. Their grandkids might be on Facebook, right? And so they're looking and chatting and doing all that. And that's cool. When we have a question about anything, about our health, about where's a good martini, about where do I get a hotel in Mexico, they don't go ask that question on Facebook. 86% of all Americans ask that question on Google. And so when they're asking a question about how do I sell my home, or what's the cost of selling my home, or what are the taxes, all those things, those questions are asked on Google. Okay. Now, if you want to compete on Google, then you want to run ads there. Okay. I don't even want to get into the concept, but the other way to compete on Google is to have an awesome SEO strategy. And frankly, I don't recommend that at all for realtors because all I know about SEO, and we've been doing this for 14 years, every person I talk to who's been paying somebody about SEO ends up just paying a lot of money and getting ripped off. I have not had people tell me great stories about that. Okay. But when you run an ad and you're pushing it to page one, or you're pushing it in front of a targeted area, it's pretty simple. So let's look at it here. This is a live account of a Keller Williams team operating in both North and South Carolina. Okay. And we can see a lot here, and that's why I'm bringing us here. They're all different homes. I don't know if you can tell that or see that. They're all different homes. And on average, they spend $100 a day on every ad. Okay. So, 1 second there, Mark. So they spend $100 on every ad. And I think the ads, they run for a week, right? And you can see here that this one has, I'm hovering over it. There's 18 leads right here. It's a cost per lead of $3.89, and almost 2,700 people saw this. Okay. That's what reach means. So as I'm logging in Facebook, if I sat in North Carolina or South Carolina, I might see this. And so your branding grows because people are recognizing you are a realtor, right? But notice that this cost per lead is $3.89 per lead. It's $5.26 per lead here. It's $6.43 per lead here, $5.88, and for some reason, $17, right? I don't quite know why that's the case, but that is the case with Facebook. Okay. It's not always the same. It depends on how many agents are you competing with at that time and stuff like that. And again, $8.33 a lead, so 3.33 cents, right? $2.95. And you can see how many leads there. So that kind of clarity is going to show up on the Google side too. But what I'm saying is don't run ads on Google for if you're trying to get buyers. Okay. This company here, this Keller Williams team, they just use our Facebook ad software because that's all this guy's role is. I need buyers for all of our agents. And they just take all the listings and they just run $100 ads for nearly 16 months. We launched this account in Halloween. It's 2024 in 2022, right? So almost a year and a half. You can see they've run 600 ads. Okay. 597. They spent, like I said, almost $100 per ad. So they've spent nearly $58,000 in 16 months. They have 16,000 buyer leads with name, email, and phone number. And they also have 3.7 million views. This is fantastic for their branding, right? We're only talking about North and South Carolina. Nearly 4 million people have been seeing their ads for 16 months. That's really great. And that's the big thing about Facebook. That's just a great thing about Facebook. And I say this for people who are especially new to the business or have, if you've been in the business for under 3 years, there's not a lot of people that know you're a realtor. That's just the reality. Your friends and family know you're a realtor. When you start spending $200 a month on Facebook ads, if you're a single realtor and you could mix that up with multiple ads, right? Do one ad a week for $50, your business page will be seen at least 10,000 times a month. 10,000 times a month. Okay. And for depending on the kind of ads you're running on Facebook, you might get buyer leads or seller leads, right? So if you're thinking about how do you raise your brand awareness as you as a realtor in your markets, Facebook is great for that, right? And you're going to get people who are interested in those homes. Maybe they're interested in the PDF guides. Maybe there's a landing page. You can do all those things. If you want listings, however, there are definitely ways to get listing leads off of Facebook. And I'm going to show you some ways right here today, and really effective and very low cost ways. But you've got to remember, we went to Facebook to look at cats, right? See what our friends are doing, right? This is where your ad shows up on Facebook. This is the main, call it the news feed. Okay. So right here, here's an ad from the Guitar Center. When you run an ad in your market, in your geographic area, it's going to show up just like that Guitar Center ad. And here I can say, I want to run an ad on a listing. Scott there, who had run an ad on a property. And I know, Scott, you know how to do this, but for everybody else, I would tell you, do it just like this. Leave it on lead ads. This is very important. If you feel like you need to run a traffic ad, you really want to know what you're doing. Okay. Because I'll explain that to you in a moment. And the real reason is if you leave it on lead ads, we write the ad for you, right? It's just like this. All you got to do is click publish. It will be a $35 ad. Okay. It'll be a 7-day ad. And on average, buyer leads cost around $3 each. So if you divide 3 into 35, you're going to get maybe 11 or 12 leads, right? The only thing I might suggest is if there's anything important about this home that you don't see in this text box, type it, right? And that way people see it in the ad. Okay. So this is really something that we want to do. So before I drive down further, there was a question here that I want to answer. I mentioned the word SEO. Okay. And SEO is search engine optimization. Google is a search engine. Okay. We think of it as a website, but it's a search engine. And also Yahoo and Bing are search engines. And are you optimized? Is your website optimized to get you on page 1 of Google? And I think for most realtors, and all the realtors, all of you, is anybody here paying for SEO? Just give me a yes or no. If anybody's paying for SEO, it's probably more, because most agents don't pay for it, right? Mostly because they don't know what it is. What I can tell you about SEO is, boy, agents get ripped off on that story every day of the week. It's unfortunate. And what it is, I hate to use the word algorithms. There's all kinds of nonsense like that. And how SEO works today, if you paid somebody, and literally this happens all the time, you pay an SEO expert and they go, okay, let me fix and work on your website. There's tons of things you got to do to make your web pages and website SEO friendly. And then 3 times a year, Google changes their algorithm to make it like, this is what's important now. And they may not optimize your website again. And so your website is not optimized. The thing about listings to leads is we're creating a lot of tools. Okay. And those tools, we are designing to auto post them to your social media, or you can run a quick ad on Facebook or on Google, and you are in high traffic areas with tools that can convert and create leads for you. Okay. That's really what this whole thing is about. We're not a destination like Zillow or realtor.com where we're driving people there to capture leads for you. No, we're giving you a quiver full of arrows to go bang. I'm going to shoot them out in high traffic areas, and these things are going to capture leads. And that's exactly what is going on here. So the whole SEO story, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. It's frankly, to me, a waste of money. Here, let's finish the ad. Before we finish the ad, which all we had to do, all I did was put in grade schools because the rest was all auto-populated out photos here. I want to talk about this new feature here. You see this blue button that says change image and video. This is really awesome to do if you are marketing a listing. Okay. And when we click that button, it shows us all the photos that came in from the MLS. So I'm going to choose a couple. And what we're doing is creating a carousel ad. Okay. And I'm going to choose this one with a pool, and this one with that cool bathtub. And where's their kitchen? I always like kitchens and fireplace. Pretty fireplace, right? So you can have up to 5 images. You click insert. And now that ad, the writing is the same, but I can scroll through, I can carousel through some images. This is going to get you higher results because we're all visual, right? A lot of people want to see what that looks like. And now maybe there's something enticing in there. And I think 5 images is great. Now, you might say, you know what? The kitchen's so beautiful. I'm going to click on that and put the kitchen number 2, right? And another thing worth noting, as I'm changing the photos here, if your home doesn't sell very quickly, I really only recommend an ad like 7 days. Our default setting is 7 days. If you want to go run an ad again on it the following week, use a different cover picture, right? Because maybe you say, look, you know what? We really didn't get enough offers. Let's put this one with the pool in front, right? Because maybe people are, oh yeah, that's awesome. I want to see that. And so there are different aspects of the house because an ad, you don't want it to be stale. So you can quickly change that. One other thing that's important. And if any of you are investing in videographers, you might do this with luxury properties. You pay somebody to walk through and do a drone video or something. Click that change image button. You can't click it twice. But instead of choosing multiple pictures, you can actually upload the video right here. And that video is going to be right here, just going to replace these photos. And let me tell you, when you see a video and an ad on Facebook, 1, the cost per lead goes down, and 2, people love that stuff. They're going to sit there and watch it. And if they're interested, they're going to click on it and you're going to get name, email, phone number. So that is how you market a listing on Facebook. Okay. But let's talk about how you can market a listing to get listings, right? Because what we just did is going to get buyers. That's for sale. So what do you do on Facebook if you want to get listings? There are 3 kinds of ads. No, actually there's 4 kinds of ads that you can run to get listings on Facebook. Okay. So let's wait for the ads page, get a sip of coffee. And I want you to understand this right up front. There are 4 different ways, and the cost per lead is totally different. Okay. Whenever we want to run an ad to get more listings, we have the setting as a $50 ad. Okay. So now you should run an ad on a property that's sold. You should leave it on lead ads so we get the leads come pre-populated with name, email, and phone number. Okay. And Here, I've got the property, and all I have to do is click publish. You might want to change this. You see this text over here. Remember, I said you can customize it. You might say sold 10K. What's happening? 10K above asking. Maybe you got 5 offers, right? This is going to make this ad more compelling. If I own a home and you're saying I can get top money or sold it fast, that's an enticement, right? That's really going to get more response here. And then you click publish. It's a $50 ad. So the question is, what's the cost per leads here? Remember what I said? Cost per lead on Facebook for buyer leads is $3. For seller leads, when you run a home that's sold, it's $7. Sorry, $7 per lead. Okay. What other ways can we run ads? We can run an ad. And this is something that a lot of agents don't even think about. A lot of agents have heard that, oh, you should market your homes when they're sold, right? If you want more listings. They've heard that. Not many agents do it, but they probably heard that in their experience. Not many agents know that if you use our system to run ads when a home is pending, it's almost the identical ad. It says this home is pending, going to close, it's going to affect your home value. Click here to get your home value. But here's the thing. Not many agents run ads as sold, but even fewer run ads on a pending or under contract property, right? What if it's active contingent? You just don't even bother. You just move on, go look for your next listing, right? If you run an ad like we're doing right here on anything that's pending, under contract, or active contingent, later stage other than sold, these leads cost $2.50. We've seen it over and over. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But now if I'm spending $50 on this ad and I'm getting leads for $2.50, that means I'm going to get 20 leads. Okay. If I ran the sold ad and they're charging me $7 per lead, it means I'm going to get 7 leads. So do you want 20 leads or do you want 7 leads? That's a good question, right? You should actually do both of these ads because it's just getting your branding out there. It's letting people know you are making things happen. Now there's also, you can run landing page ads and PDF guide ads. So let's go here to landing page first. You get unlimited landing pages in your account. Property Valuation Plus are the instant home value landing pages, and you should have one of those. You should have multiple ones of those because most of you have multiple farm markets. So you would want to run ads for those farm markets. I'm not going to go into that just yet. You'll notice we have iBuyer landing pages. We have FSBO landing pages. I really don't recommend running an ad for a FSBO on Facebook. I recommend that on Google. And then custom head. If you're creating a custom landing page for either buyers or sellers, then you can use traffic. Okay. Then you can not, because you really have created a custom landing page, there must be something important that you want people to see. So then you can use it. So here, I'm going to do an ad on Concord right here. Okay. Concord is a town near me. I'm leaving it on lead ads. And I want you to understand this. This is there's a lot of mistakes when running an instant home value ad. Okay. And there are mistakes that agents make that are clients of ours all the time because they don't watch these calls like you are, right? So they don't know that what in the world is going on here. Oh, I want to run a home value ad. I want leads, right? These home value pages, typically you want them to speak of the city, right? And here it says Concord. What's your Concord home worth? You can even change this. There's the page where we can change that. Home values have changed. We can change that to say Concord home values have changed. But now we can say recent Concord home sales. And I'm going to just change this and put in the word Concord so that it really is speaking to this area that's important to me, right? Here's the thing. If I type in Concord up here, and this is the reason why this doesn't work very well for people. And the reason why I know it doesn't work is because people come in the mastermind group And they're like, hey, I just did this and it's not really working out for me. I literally saw that 2 weeks ago. Let me show you what is going on in the world, or not in the world, but in our areas, and so that you understand what Facebook is doing and what it's not doing and what is the weakness about this. So to answer this question, let's go to a map, this is a Google map. Okay. So this area right here is Concord. It's a small town, lots of homes, good area, middle priced homes. But when we run the ad, I can only do a minimum radius of 15 miles. Okay. And that's a problem, because what does that mean? This map that I'm showing you right here is about a 15-mile radius, all of these towns. And so you can't actually target those people that live in Concord, which is what your ad is all about. So there's a way to get around that. And this is what I recommend to anybody who is in the listing. If you want listings in your business, you go to a company like listsource.com, or you go to remind.com, or you go to your title partner, and you find a list of homeowners that own homes for more than 5 or 6 years in Concord. Okay. And you then go over here, see if I can do this real quick. And you click this button that says create audience. And you name the audience, whatever your town is, right? I'm going to say Concord homeowner. And it's telling you, and this is really important, this list has to be 1,000 leads long. And then you can upload it and then import it, and it will live in your Facebook account. If you think that you want listings, and if you think you're going to be in the industry for more than 3 years, you probably want to be doing this, because you don't have to be a client of ours forever to use that list. It's going to live in your Facebook ad manager. Okay. And then anytime you're running ads to get in front of those people in Concord, you can literally target those people. Here's a very important part here. We really should make this much bigger. It says use this format. That should be like in big red letters, because if your spreadsheet does not look like this, it's not going to work. And unfortunately, we don't even give you a signal that it was bad. We just let you do it, and you don't know why it's not working. But I know that if it doesn't have those 4 headers spelt out, email, number, first name, last name, and have that data underneath it, it won't work. Okay. When you're buying a list of homeowners in Concord or any other city from any other great company, you will find that you're probably going to get 20 to 50 columns of information. You need to save that. You might need it. You might want print campaigns, right? You need to save a copy with just those 4 columns of data. And then you import it, and it will live in your Facebook account forever. That way, when you decide, hey, I want to run an ad on Concord, well, I go create my custom landing page on the page. And then I'm actually going to type in the zip code, because that does a nice, cool function. And I'm going to click create ad. And let's see what it does. It says, hey, 15 homes sold last month in Concord. The highest was here. That affects your home value. So we've already jazzed it up simply by typing in the zip code. Instead of typing Concord here, you type in the name of your custom audience here. I don't have one called Concord homeowners. But if I did, I would type in Concord homeowners, and I'd highlight it in blue like that. And what that tells Facebook is, hey, run this ad for 7 days for $50, but show it to the people who are on this list. And this list, because you bought it, are people that have owned their homes for 5 or 6 years or more, right? That's how you get listings off of Facebook. Now there's an easier way, but that's for home values, straight home value ads. There's an easier way. And that is by using one of our PDF guides. Now, we have 80 PDF guides. I don't know if you've seen them. They are branded to you. They have the color scheme that you put together on your profile. If you uploaded your photograph and your logo, they're going to be on every page of every one of these. There are 40 for home buyers. There are 40 for home sellers. Now, home buyers, you could do, maybe you don't have any listings and you just want to talk to buyers. You can just run an ad. You can go, boom, okay, here's first time home buyer guide. I'm going to go do that. But if you want more listings, use one of the 40 PDF guides. Okay. And I'm going to do this one, divorce and real estate, right? Lead ads. And because this doesn't really talk about anything in Concord, I can just say, well, you know what? I'm going to target Concord. And $50 ad, 15-mile radius. That's a good, there's at least 500,000 people that live in this thing. Probably one of them is thinking about divorce. So yeah, that's not a bad ad to run, right? Publish. That's it. You get the lead, they can download it if they give you the contact information. These leads, however, cost around $10 each. Okay. I showed you that a pending ad on a listing, a seller lead costs $2.50. A seller lead costs $7 on a sold ad. And then this PDF guide, these leads can often cost $10 each. Okay. So if it's a $50 ad and they're charging you $10 per lead, you'll get 5 leads. Okay. And so I think one thing that there is a question of, do I want 20 leads or do I want 5 leads? But there's also, when we talked about branding, you're letting people know that you are a real estate resource when you run an ad like this. You might have a report on first-time home buyers or on various aspects of home ownership or buying a home or selling a home. That really sets you up as looking like a professional in the industry. So these can be effective even if the leads are a little more costly. Okay. So I definitely recommend looking at that. Right. So when we looked at one thing I forgot to mention, you remember how we were creating the home value ad on Concord, right? I'm just going to show you. I will do another one, another town here, Orinda. These leads often cost $15 each. And I have multiple landing pages because I have business in multiple different towns around me. So you need a landing page like this for each one. And occasionally I get the question of what if I want to do a county? I don't want to create a landing page for every town. I want to do a county. You could create that, right? Here, go back to Concord. Let's see if I can get up a little bit closer. Yeah, works. Everything, all of these towns in all of this area are in a county called Contra Costa County. Okay. And over here, these homes can range between, I want to say $250,000 to $1 million just on this little stretch, right? Not too many $1 million homes. Over here, nothing gets $1 million, 300 to 8. In this area here, 1 to 10 million, right? And over here, everything's less than $1 million. So it doesn't matter where I own a home. I don't really care what you know about Contra Costa County. I want to know what you know about my town, Oakley, or Walnut Creek, or Blackhawk, or Danville. I need to know that you are the pro there, not Contra Costa County, because that means very little to me. I need to know that you know my town of Orinda. There are 20,000 people that live in Orinda. If you know this theater, Orinda, it's literally at the entrance of town. I wouldn't recommend doing this, typing in Orinda. I would recommend going and getting a list, like I mentioned, creating custom audience and targeting those people. That's really, but these leads cost $15. This is why I wanted to show you. Okay. So at this point, I've shown you how to run ads to get buyers from Facebook and to get listings from Facebook. Let's go talk about how you get listing leads from Google. Okay. And we might want to use the exact same landing page. The difference of this though, is these are all traffic ads. Okay. And so let's go look here and click create an ad for Orinda since we were just looking at that. So when we go to Google, and let's do that search one more time. Orlando homes for sale, right? Let's do Orlando. No, let's do Rinda home values. I'm doing it in the way that I'm sure somebody would say, what is my home worth? Is probably what they would say. Here we are. Number one page is Zillow, right? There's Redfin, there's realtor.com. Now, these guys are almost all SEO plays. I don't really see an ad. So maybe typing in like that, nobody is really competing for that, right? So let's do this one. This is my home with. Yeah, this is a fairly, yeah. And now we can see here are sponsored ads, Open Door, Home Light, Property Sales Group. Who are these guys? I'm not going to click on this because it actually charges every time you click on it. But that's how people come to Google and ask that question. And then you can say, okay, I want to type in Orinda, right? Because that's what I'm after here. We can see if we click on view link, we don't have to do this, but just so you understand, we're driving people to this page, right? And so all we got to do is click publish. It will be a $50 a day ad. So I don't recommend this to everybody, but if you're in the listing business and you probably know about Google already, and you know that you spend a lot of money to get ads and leads from that. That's another one thing I mentioned about SEO and how realtors get ripped off on the SEO thing. A lot of realtors pay way too much money to people to run ads on Google. It's really just a sad fact, but that's how it is. I'm going to just show you something here, more for your education and knowledge, because we automatically do this for you. When you run an ad on Google, you have to have all your keywords. What is somebody typing in? We know all the major keywords, whether you're looking for buyer leads or seller leads. And based on that, we add those to this keyword section. You don't need to do it yourself. We do it. You need to have this. You see this blue area here in the ad? It says those are called headlines. You have a minimum of 3 headlines. Do you know what to write there? You probably don't. That's why we do it automatically for you. And then you have to have 2 or 3 descriptions of, and this little area here is the description. You need to know what's going to be there, right? The reason they want you to have multiple ones is they rotate them. Every time somebody sees an ad, they rotate and then they stop on the configuration of the ad that works the best. Okay. So by using our software, it's very easy to be competitive on Google. Let's talk a little bit about this budget, because you know how I mentioned on Facebook, like the price per lead is different based on your competition. The same is true for Google, but because Google is the number one website in the country, they charge the most amount of money. Okay. So I don't really recommend Google for new agents at all. If you are somebody that manages a lot of listings and you want more listings, you probably want to be having a Google strategy. And so what's the cost per lead for this? Google charges, it's different across the country. I know in Dallas, Texas, if you ran an ad like this, like what is my Dallas home worth, and you had a landing page, those leads would cost you $30 each. If you were operating in Western Pennsylvania, like in the Pittsburgh or Reading areas, these leads cost $22. If you're in Utah, it's about $17. I even heard somebody say like $10 to $15. I can't remember where, but I remember hearing that. But here's a crazy story. In Vancouver, in British Columbia, north of Washington State, these leads cost $200 to $300 each. So new agents do not compete on Google there. Only the big teams. They spend the money to get those leads. So I don't know what these leads cost you in your market. But you know that from Facebook, they're going to be cheaper. It's just the quality of these leads are going to be higher. Okay. We can do that with a valuation ad, or we can do that with a PDF guide. Remember, we ran PDF guides over on Facebook. When we do that on Google, you can do the same thing. And again, you know that there are 40 PDF guides for buyers and you know there are 40 PDF guides for sellers, the fast, easy way to get buyer leads is Facebook. Um, and not only fast and easy, but cheap, right? Low cost leads. It's going to be hard for you to compete on Google and get a low cost lead. But if you want to get listings, it's worth the investment. And so here it says PDF guides. I've got 40 different PDF guides. I want to focus on the sellers. Let's give it a second to pull up. So here's sellers. And now we can talk about any of the 40 topics. 5 dangers of overpricing. That might be relevant in your market, right? So if I choose that one, what's it going to look like? I got to type in my town, wherever I want to focus, do Orinda, and leave the budget alone. Different keywords, because this is a different kind of report. Okay. So we update it by whatever you're doing. We make those keywords match and we make sure that all these things down here match. Worth noting, the Google ad software doesn't come with our platform. It is an add-on. It's $30 a month just to have access to that software. Okay. Your ad budget, if it's a $50 ad or $100 ad, that gets paid into Google. You're connecting your Google account first. You got a credit card on Google. That's what's going to happen, right? It's going to charge that credit card. Same is true for Facebook. When you're running an ad on Facebook, you got a credit card on your business page. If you do a $35 ad or a $50 ad or a $100 ad, it's charging there. Okay. So that's what you can do with our system, right? With both Facebook and Google. Are there any questions about what we talked about here or what I talked about? I want to remind you whenever you're running an ad, we're usually recommending using landing pages, right? If you're doing traffic. I don't know if I explained it enough, but on Facebook, you're always going to be given the option of lead ads or traffic ads. Leave it on lead ads. These leads are pre-populated from the Facebook profiles. Okay. And when you ask somebody, if you present somebody with a web page like this and ask them to write in their name, phone number, and email, you can get Mickey Mouse at Disney.com kind of stuff, right? That's what happens. It's been happening for years. I just want this information. I'm going to give you whatever fake information I want. When you click on lead ads, that's telling Facebook, if they want that information, automatically pull their name, phone number, and email from their profile. That has to be accurate, because if you get locked out of that page, you can't get back in if you don't have your real phone number, right? And so that's why those leads tend to be good quality. People are interested and they're getting their actual information, right? Sometimes it's not 100% accurate, but it's well over 75% accurate. That's pretty good. And if you don't, I'll tell you this, let's go over to our YouTube channel. A lot of people don't really get Facebook at all, right? This is on our homepage in our YouTube channel. This lady here ran a $35 open house ad almost a year ago. And you could listen to her. She got 3 active buyers and 1 listing from one $35 ad. Why? It's hard to find a home. If you're actually marketing a home on Facebook where everybody's hanging out, you got a chance of getting their attention, right? Everybody, I think that's my story for today. I mentioned carousel ads. Definitely use those. If you're doing video, definitely do that. And as a kind of a side note, let's go over, video is very strong. And I know that, hold on, this video is, what I'm going to show you is a little bit of a pro tip. When we talked about these things, here's 5 dangers of overpricing. Right here is a short form video script. You could download this and print it and read it a couple of times and whip out your smartphone and create a video of you talking about that particular report and why it's valuable. Then when you run the ad, let's just do it together. Run it out on Facebook. Lead ads, because we like pre-populated name, email, and phone number. You type in your favorite town. And instead of that static image right there, you click on change image video over here and you upload your video right here. Okay. That green button. and that will replace that image with your video. I hope that makes sense. I know a lot of people are not comfortable with a lot of things that we're doing, right? With social media, they're just not comfortable, right, with that. I know far fewer of you are comfortable with video. But if you are one of those people that are comfortable with video, leverage it in your ads and you will get higher results at a lower cost. Facebook loves it when you use video and they charge you less per lead when you use video. So everybody, I don't see any more questions. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We got a great support team. If any of these things went over your head, there's a support page over here on the left. Just ask a question right here. And make sure you ask them to get in the mastermind group and spend a few minutes every, like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, scan our mastermind group. You're going to hear what other people are saying. And thank you, everybody. I'm glad this has helped you. I hope this helps you out. I want to remind all of this is our videos page on our YouTube channel. I can tell you without reservation, and I know nobody likes to watch 1 hour long videos, but I tell a lot of people, watch the first 10, right? Whatever day you have found us, watch the first 10 videos. Because if you can understand how to unlock the value of listings to leads, your business is going to grow. So I hope you all take advantage of this page on your off time. If it's snowing or raining, you can't go outside. Go see what in the world this whole platform is about. And you will find that your business is going to grow. Thanks, everybody. This call is being recorded and it will be on this page that we're looking at right here, either later today or tomorrow. All right. Take care, everyone. Keep safe this winter.